What is up, guys? It's me, Alan. I'm back with another video, and this is the third of the three diecasts that I got in a giveaway package from Brad on Twitter. Thank you for that, by the way. And so recently, I did a whole bunch of reviews on Wave 8 and 9 diecasts that I got from my buddy Ninja Chris, and there were two of them from Wave 8 that he wasn't able to find for me. That was the Denny Hamlin throwback and the Alex Bowman Patriotic car. Well, I now have the Alex Bowman Patriotic car. This, of course, being his 2020 Chevy Goods NOCO Patriotic Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports. And the thing about this is, when it was announced that this diecast had been DNP'd, a lot of friends of mine were none too happy about that, because this is easily one of the better paint schemes from the Patriotic race last year. Arguably, it looked phenomenal under the lights at the track, and Bowman was running really well during that race up until I think he lost a tire at one point and got into the wall or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But he was having a great race that night. Of course, we all know what happened. Freaking Chase Elliott comes down pit road on the final caution, and then after the race, Jimmy Johnson, who finished second, gets DQ'd. That was a bad night for Hendrick Motorsports. But anyway, so when this got announced in the Authentics line, it was a relief to see that this diecast would be made. And let's just go ahead. Let's unbox this bad boy and get it out. So now the only Wave 8 diecast that I'm looking for, is the Denny Hamlin throwback. Hoping to pick that one up at some point. But who knows? Anyway, here's a look at the free magnet that comes with it. And now we get to the diecast. Now, the first thing I noticed is, what the hell is that? Right, I don't know if you can tell, but right there's something behind the windshield. Also, now that I look at it, the left side or right side of the windshield, depending on which way you're looking at it, is a little bit caved in on the top. But anyway, this is actually a really freaking nice paint scheme. And I think we got some paint chips over there, or a whole white paint chip, whatever. But yeah, this is a really nice paint scheme. They did a phenomenal job with it for the Patriotic race last season at Charlotte. And obviously last year was a crazy year. Outside of the pandemic, for Alex Bowman going into the season, there was concern that he wasn't going to have funding for all the races. And then obviously you have the Hendrick cars sponsorships, Chevy Goods and stuff like that with some of their different products and whatnot. Adams Polishes, NOCO, and a couple others. But of course, he has the big win at Auto Club, or was it Auto Club? Yes, it was. I think. My mind's just all over the place at the moment, but he had that. And then when we got back from the pandemic break, for most of the season, it was just bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And it looked like he was going to have no momentum really going into the playoffs until late in the season late in the regular season when he started picking it up a little bit. And getting some quality finishes. But when you look at the final playoff standings, he actually had an underrated run through the playoffs. He did pretty well at points in time when others were having their issues, and he actually ended up making the round of 8. And with the way the Martinsville race was going, there was a sneaky chance that he could have made it to the Final Four. Obviously, it would have been kind of weird if he did, considering the season that he had, especially post-pandemic break. for most of the regular season. But again, he had a very, very underrated run through the playoffs last year. And now, with the 48 team, yes, they've had some bad luck this year because the bad luck, the bad luck with the 48, the bad luck with Bowman, it just seems to follow him around. Now he has a win. He picked that up at Richmond, which locks him into the playoffs. And we're going into a stretch of races that I think could be really good for him. To where maybe he gets a couple more. If you go back to my preseason predictions, I did say that I predicted Bowman to have at least 2 or 3 wins this year. I think it's a very real possibility. I think that the way that Hendrick is going right now, and you look at some of the other teams, SHR has not been SHR this year the way that they usually are, especially with Harvick, but with the whole team in general. It seems like Denny Hamlin's more content with top 5, top 10 finishes than wins right now, because he's had a few of them that he's had a couple of races that he should have won that slipped through him, that slipped by. Well, although that's kind of a different discussion for a different day. Funny enough, Richmond was one of them. And then, just the amount of different winners that we've had this year. But at the same time, Hendrick really sort of breaking out with 3 out of their 4 drivers all having wins. Larson almost picking up a second win this year until he got ran down by Martin Truex Jr. Some races back. And, William Byron with the crew chief change looking like a real contender. I don't see how Bowman doesn't win at least 1 more race, maybe even 2. Throughout the rest of the season. And I think Hendrick overall is the team to beat. I still have faith with Chase Elliott. He's gonna win. He should have won the Daytona Road Course. Let's all be honest. I'm happy Christopher Bell won. And I understand people's frustrations with the rain caution that shouldn't have been, but yada yada. But I think really the biggest worry for Elliott's team is the pit crew has sucked this year, especially the last couple of races. So they got to get that together. But outside of that, there's no way Chase Elliott goes the season without a win. He's going to get one, especially at one of the road courses later, because we've got a bunch of them this year and for the foreseeable future. So Elliott will get his win at some point. But still, it really feels like all 4 Hendrick drivers are going to have at least 1 win, and maybe even at least 2, depending on how things turn out. And I think Bowman can get at least 2 or 3, to be quite honest. But anyway, with all that being said, again, amazing fucking paint scheme. I'm glad that it got made. And with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you all next time. Peace.